Have you ever stopped to think about what truly holds power in a relationship? Is it your words, your actions, or the attention you give? What happens when you decide to reclaim your focus, detach from the need for validation, and prioritize your inner peace over everything else? What do they feel when they realize you no longer care? This isn't about manipulation or trying to win a game. It's about self-control, self-respect, and emotional mastery, qualities that the Stoics valued above all else. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Today, we're going to dive deep into the psychology of detachment and the profound reaction that unfolds when someone who once had your full attention suddenly realizes that they've lost it. This shift is not only a revelation for them, it's an awakening for you. But here's the key. This isn't just about relationships. It's about mastering yourself and learning to thrive in a world where distractions, desires, and emotions try to pull you in every direction. If you've ever struggled with maintaining your power and focus, this is for you. If this message hits home, drop this empowering phrase in the comments: "My peace is my power." Let's set the tone for self-mastery and growth. Number 1, the nature of interest. Interest is the currency of attention. In every relationship, whether romantic or otherwise, the person who controls their attention often controls the dynamic. When you lose interest, you don't just step back from the other person, you step forward into your own power. This shift can feel seismic, not only for them, but for you. It's a signal that you've reclaimed something priceless: your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. The world teaches us to chase, to prove ourselves, to pour our energy into people and things that might never truly reciprocate. But the Stoics teach us a different way. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This isn't just about material possessions, it's about emotional wealth. When you stop chasing, you strip away the chains of desire that keep you bound to someone else's approval. You're no longer seeking validation, and in that moment, you set yourself free. This freedom doesn't go unnoticed. When you lose interest, it creates a void, an absence of your energy, attention, and focus. And here's the truth: people notice absence more than presence. Suddenly, she begins to question what changed. Why is your attention no longer hers? Why does she feel the subtle sting of being overlooked? This is where curiosity, intrigue, and even longing are born. But here's the deeper truth. Losing interest isn't about manipulating someone into noticing you again. It's about prioritizing yourself, your growth, and your peace. When you stop pouring your energy into someone else, you redirect it inward. You begin to build something indestructible, your sense of self-worth. By losing interest, you don't become less, you become more confident, more focused, more grounded. This isn't about rejection or resentment, it's about liberation. It's about stepping back into your own lane and realizing that your energy is sacred and not everyone is entitled to it. If you feel this principle of self-mastery resonates with your journey, take a moment to comment below. I control what deserves my energy. Let's affirm that our energy is not limitless, and those who receive it must earn it. Number 2, the initial shock. When a woman realizes that you've withdrawn your interest, her initial reaction is often one of confusion. It's as if the rules of the game have suddenly changed, and she's left wondering what happened. Why are you no longer chasing her? Why has your energy shifted away from her? This moment of shock is where the power dynamic begins to flip. You see, most people are conditioned to expect consistency in the attention they receive. When that attention suddenly disappears, it creates a void, and human nature abhors a void. This is where dark psychology and Stoicism intersect. From a psychological perspective, people often crave what they no longer have. And when you withdraw your interest, it triggers something primal: the fear of loss, the need to understand, and the urge to regain control. But here's where Stoicism provides the upper hand. Unlike others who may withdraw interest out of spite or to manipulate, the Stoic man does so from a place of inner peace and self-respect. Your withdrawal isn't a reaction to her behavior, it's a reflection of your values. You've chosen to prioritize your emotional balance over the fleeting highs of her attention. In this moment, she may try to rationalize your detachment. She might tell herself you're distracted, uninterested, or even playing a game. But deep down, she knows something has shifted. Your absence forces her to reflect on your presence, and that's where the real impact lies. Remember, the Stoics teach us to focus only on what is within our control. Your interest, your attention, and your energy, these are within your control. The way she reacts, that's hers to deal with. You don't withdraw to provoke a reaction. You withdraw to reclaim your peace. If this principle of detachment resonates with you, take a moment to comment. I am free from external validation. Let's remind ourselves that our worth is not tied to someone else's approval. It's tied to how we value ourselves. Number 3, the chase begins. When you stop chasing, something remarkable happens. The roles reverse. What was once taken for granted is now suddenly out of reach. The moment she senses your detachment, an instinctual response is triggered. The chase begins. This isn't just psychology, it's human nature. People desire what they perceive as scarce or slipping away. At first, she might act indifferent, as if your withdrawal doesn't bother her. But deep down, the loss of your attention gnaws at her. She starts to wonder, why isn't he reaching out? Did I misjudge him? Did I lose him forever? These questions spark curiosity, which quickly turns into longing. And as the longing grows, so does her effort to regain what she believes she's lost. But here's where the Stoic mindset gives you the upper hand. You remain unmoved. The chase is not an opportunity for you to prove your worth. It's a testament to the fact that you've already found it within yourself. You've embraced the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Her pursuit is not your validation. It's merely a reflection of the shift in dynamic that happens when you prioritize your peace and focus on yourself. You're no longer playing by the unspoken rules of endless attention and approval seeking. Instead, you've stepped into a higher plane of emotional independence. This doesn't mean you're cold or heartless. It means you're self-assured. You don't need to chase to feel worthy because your worth was never tied to anyone else's recognition. This calm confidence, this stillness, is what makes you truly magnetic. If this resonates, drop this empowering phrase in the comments. Still waters run deep. Let's remind ourselves that true power lies in calm, steady confidence, not in frantic pursuit. Number 4, testing your resolve. When a woman senses your detachment and begins to chase, there's another phase that often follows. She tests you. This is where things get interesting. She'll try to gauge whether your withdrawal is genuine or just a tactic. Is your calm confidence real, or are you simply playing hard to get? These tests aren't malicious, they're subconscious responses to the shifting dynamic. She might reinsert herself subtly into your life. A random text, a like on your social media, or even a comment meant to provoke a reaction. Sometimes these tests are more direct. Perhaps she'll call out your behavior, asking why you've changed or why you seem distant. The goal of these tests is to see if she can still influence you, still occupy space in your mind. And here's where many men falter. They confuse these moments as opportunities to re-engage, to validate themselves by showing interest again. But the Stoic man does not waver. He understands that these tests are not about him, they're about her. He sees them for what they are, attempts to regain control of a dynamic she no longer commands. This is where the teachings of the Stoics shine. As Epictetus said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you respond to her tests with calmness and clarity, you show that your peace cannot be disturbed by external forces. You are not swayed by fleeting emotions or attempts to manipulate your attention. Your steadiness will either intrigue her further or frustrate her, but either way, it solidifies your position as someone who cannot be easily influenced. This is the essence of power, not dominance over others, but mastery over yourself. If you're committed to this path of unshakable resolve, drop this phrase in the comments: "I am steadfast like a rock." Let's affirm that true strength is found in our ability to remain grounded, no matter the storm. Number 5. The balance of mystery and confidence. One of the most fascinating effects of losing interest is the aura of mystery it creates. When you stop chasing, when you pull back your energy and attention, you become an enigma. And here's the thing about mystery: it's irresistible. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully understand, to what feels just out of reach. This is where your power truly lies. But it's not just the mystery that captivates her, it's the confidence that comes with it. The Stoic man doesn't retreat into mystery out of fear or insecurity. He does it out of self-respect and self-assurance. You've embraced the philosophy of Marcus Aurelius, who said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You don't have to prove anything to anyone because your actions, your energy, and your demeanor speak louder than words. This balance of mystery and confidence is magnetic. She starts to wonder, what is he thinking? Why isn't he reacting like others? What's changed about him? And the more she wonders, the more her focus shifts toward you. You've created a dynamic where she's now investing her energy in understanding you rather than the other way around. But here's the critical part. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about authenticity. Your mystery isn't a facade. It's the natural result of focusing on your own growth and priorities. Your confidence isn't arrogance. It's the quiet strength that comes from knowing your worth. When you combine mystery with authentic confidence, you become someone who stands out in a world full of predictable, approval-seeking behavior, and that's what makes this shift so powerful. If this resonates, drop this phrase in the comments. Confidence in silence speaks louder. Let's affirm that real strength lies in quiet, steady self-assurance. Number 6. Emotional reflection. Here's the part that most people underestimate. When you lose interest, it forces her to confront herself. Your absence creates a vacuum, a space where she has no choice but to reflect on her own emotions, actions, and priorities. This is the moment when reality begins to sink in. At first, she might feel frustration or confusion. Why has your attention shifted? What did she do or fail to do to cause this change? But as time goes on, these surface-level emotions give way to something deeper: self-reflection. She starts to question her role in the dynamic. Was she too complacent? Did she take your presence for granted? Or perhaps was she too focused on herself to notice what she was losing? From a dark psychology perspective, this is the moment where scarcity amplifies value. Human beings instinctively value what feels rare or unattainable. Your absence, your withdrawal, sends a powerful signal. I am not dependent on you, and my energy is not unlimited. This makes her reevaluate everything, and in that reevaluation, you become more significant. But this isn't about gaining her attention or validation. The Stoic perspective reminds us that her emotional reflection is her own journey, not yours. You didn't withdraw to make her chase or to manipulate her feelings. You withdrew because your peace and self-worth are priorities. And this realization is where your power truly lies. The beauty of this process is that it aligns with one of the core principles of Stoicism. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Her reflection, her emotions, her response, these are beyond your control. What matters is how you maintain your composure, your confidence, and your focus on your own growth. If this resonates with you, drop this empowering phrase in the comments: I am the prize. Let's remind ourselves that we are valuable, and our value is not defined by how others perceive us. Number 7. Your power in emotional independence. There's a rare kind of strength that comes from emotional independence. When you lose interest and detach yourself from the need for validation, you step into a place of true power. This is where you become unshakable, not because you've distanced yourself from people, but because you've built a foundation within yourself that no one can topple. Emotional independence is what sets the Stoic man apart. As Seneca wisely said, "A wise man is content with what he has, no matter how little." This isn't about denying connection or love. It's about approaching relationships from a place of wholeness rather than need. You're no longer reliant on anyone else to fill a void, because there is no void. You've done the work to fill it yourself. When she realizes this about you, it changes everything. Emotional independence is magnetic because it's so rare. Most people are caught in a cycle of seeking attention, seeking approval, seeking meaning in others. But when you break free from that cycle, you show her something different. You show her that you're not just a man, you're a man of depth, discipline, and inner strength. This independence forces her to rethink her perception of you. She may have thought she had you figured out, that your interest was guaranteed, that your attention was a constant. But now, she sees someone who values himself too much to be dependent on another's validation, and in doing so, you command respect, not through force, but through the quiet power of self-control. Remember, this isn't about creating distance for the sake of control. It's about aligning with the Stoic principle that your happiness comes from within, not from external sources. You've embraced the truth that the only thing you truly own in this world is your response to it. If this resonates with you, comment below, "I thrive in my independence." Let's affirm the power of building a life and identity that is unshakable and complete on its own. Number 8. Why you should stay detached. Detachment is not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about being in control. When you choose to detach, you're making a powerful statement that your happiness, your peace, and your purpose are not tied to anyone else. This is a radical shift from the way most people live, constantly entangled in the emotions and expectations of others. Why should you stay detached? Because detachment frees you. It liberates you from the emotional turbulence that comes with seeking validation, approval, or attention. It aligns you with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The moment you stop letting external forces dictate your mood, you reclaim your strength. When you remain detached, you stop being reactive. Her actions, her words, and even her attempts to provoke you lose their grip on you. Instead of responding with emotion, you respond with clarity and calm. This level of composure not only commands respect, but also demonstrates that your life is guided by your values, not fleeting feelings. But here's the key. Staying detached doesn't mean cutting yourself off from connection. It means approaching relationships from a place of abundance, not scarcity. You're not desperate to hold on to someone because you already have everything you need within yourself. This mindset makes you not only more attractive, but also more fulfilled. And remember, staying detached is a lifelong practice, not a one-time act. It's a mindset that needs to be cultivated every day. When you stay focused on your goals, your growth, and your inner peace, you naturally prioritize what truly matters and let go of what doesn't. If this resonates with you, drop this phrase in the comments: "I am my best investment." Let's affirm that the energy we put into ourselves will always yield the highest returns. Number 9. Why detachment attracts respect. When you practice detachment, something fascinating happens. You begin to attract respect, not just attention. This respect comes from the realization that you are a man who operates on his own terms. You don't cling, you don't chase, and you don't depend on external validation to feel whole. That kind of independence is rare, and it commands admiration. People are naturally drawn to those who are secure in themselves. Detachment signals strength. It shows that you can thrive with or without someone's presence in your life. You've cultivated an inner world so rich and fulfilling that you're not constantly seeking someone to fill a void. Instead, you approach relationships from a place of abundance, where connection is a choice, not a necessity. This respect also stems from the boundaries you establish. When you detach, you're implicitly communicating, "I value myself enough to not tolerate what doesn't align with my peace and purpose." These boundaries don't push people away, they draw the right people closer. Those who respect you will be intrigued by your confidence, while those who sought to take advantage of you will realize they can't. But here's the critical part. This respect doesn't just come from others, it comes from within. By practicing detachment, you're teaching yourself to respect your own time, energy, and emotions. You're reinforcing the idea that you are worthy of peace and that your life isn't defined by the actions or opinions of others. Respect, unlike attention, is lasting. Attention may come and go, but the respect you command through your detachment stays because it's rooted in something unshakable, your character. If this resonates with you, comment below. Respect flows from self-respect. Let's affirm that our ability to respect ourselves sets the standard for how the world interacts with us. Number 10. A Stoic approach to relationships. Losing interest isn't about playing games, manipulation, or trying to gain control over someone else. It's about reclaiming your own control. It's about understanding that your peace, your focus, and your energy are your most valuable assets. And when you detach from needing validation or attention, you open the door to something far greater: freedom. The Stoic approach to relationships is simple but profound. Focus only on what is within your control. You cannot control how someone reacts, how they feel about you, or whether they value your presence. What you can control is how you carry yourself, how you respond, and how much of your energy you choose to give. This isn't about indifference, it's about balance. You care, but you don't cling. You love, but you don't lose yourself. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, it's not just a shift in the relationship, it's a shift in how you value yourself. Her reaction, whether it's confusion, pursuit, or reflection, is secondary to the real lesson here, that your worth was never tied to someone else's perception. You've built a foundation on self-respect, self-discipline, and self-mastery. In the end, your ability to remain calm, confident, and detached is what sets you apart. It's what elevates you above the chaos of emotions and reactions that dominate so many relationships. By embodying these Stoic principles, you not only transform the dynamics of your interactions, you transform yourself. So, as you move forward, remember this. Detachment isn't the absence of love, it's the presence of wisdom. And wisdom, grounded in self-control, is what allows you to thrive in every area of your life. If this message resonates with you, comment below, "I am in control of my destiny." Let's inspire each other to rise above distractions and stay focused on what truly matters. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your journey to mastering yourself and your relationships starts here at Stoic Blessing. Until next time, stay grounded, stay wise, and always choose peace.